Hey everybody, so it's been a while since I've pushed out a drawing to you. We've had some technical issues behind the scenes that I wanted to get worked out before I pushed out another drawing, and we seem to have gotten the bugs worked out of that. So here we are. We're going to be doing drawing number 2, and you'll see in your assignment that not only do I have the repeating steps and the every SolidWorks drawing documents that I've had with other things that I've pushed out to you, just resources. I have the drawing, and this is the drawing right here. You'll see that it's looks a little different than what we did before, but it's actually not too bad. It's not too terribly difficult, just so long as you heed my warnings along the way. It would be a lot easier if we were face to face, but you know, the good news with me doing it on a video like this is you can pause the video, which I highly recommend that you do. You can rewind it. You're able to do these steps over and over. So I think that you'll be just fine on this. So again, this is the drawing. I'm not going to keep referring to this drawing in here because it really doesn't help your video at all. But just know that this is a resource that you can take this and push it to one side of your screen, and you can have SolidWorks working on the other side of your screen. So I'm going to switch to a different browser here so I can do what I need to do. And work as my MS Tech Ed user, my student account. All right, so this is going off of the assumption that you've already gone to launchpad.classlink.com/seals. You've gotten this to come up. You go in and you make sure that your managed services, your Google Drive is set up. I've got plenty of videos on that. And that we go out here to the all resources. We click the Drive file stream. And before we do any work, we verify that the Google Drive file stream is showing up, because that gives you guys a place to save your file and then link it to the file that I need you to hand in, right? So that should start becoming the norm for all of you. I know it's where we struggled a lot, but you know, we've spent a lot of time dealing with those technical issues now, so everybody should be in good shape, hopefully. All right, so we're going to go over here to SolidWorks. We're going to click Allow. I am starting from scratch here as well too. And so this just may take a moment to open up. I will probably come down here and pause my video just so I don't chew up all the video waiting for that to load. So I'll be back once it opens. So here's something strange that I've noticed. SolidWorks, you know, when I go to click it, I click Allow, nothing happens. But I noticed if I just come over here and open Photoshop, the last time that I did this, Photoshop opened, and look. See, so as soon as Photoshop goes to open, if you just hit cancel, you will see that SolidWorks was like stuck in the background. It's really odd that this does this, but to be truthful, SolidWorks was never designed to operate the way that we're trying to use it right now. You know, again, not a fault of SolidWorks, not a fault of us. It's our current situation. So sometimes weird stuff happens, and I will take this little snippet out of this video as well too, and I'll post it up as one of those tips, like, hey, here's another technical issue that I've noticed. But in any case, it happened in this, so I'm just going to go ahead and click accept. And there we go. We're all good to go. I also, every time you open SolidWorks, because we're all running essentially the same copy of SolidWorks remotely, I like to have where it says File at the top and Open and View and all that good stuff, but it doesn't show unless you roll over here. And it seems like every time you get out of SolidWorks, you have to enable this again because it's not running on your device. So if you just roll up here, click this, there it is. The first thing that I like to do before I do anything, I just like to go to Open, and I like to verify that my Google Drive file stream is there, and it is, and I'm just going to hit cancel. So we're going to do a brand new drawing. All right, so I'm just going to click New. Sorry, I'm going to click New. I'm going to do a new part. Notice you can't see OK. I've had a couple of kids say, I can't see the OK button, and I can't click it. There we go. I can't click it. But if I move this window up, it seems like it's not quite centered. I'm guessing the resolution on the monitor or the video card on the server is maybe different than our laptops, and that's why things are a little bit offset. But either way, I'm just going to do a new part. As we do with every drawing that we're going to do, we're just going to go to View, and we're going to go Hide and Show and Origins, and it's going to drop our origin in the middle of the screen. In the past, I had you guys go up here to set the units. We're going to do that again. Go to Document Properties and Units. I'm not going to have you change the numbers for now. I'm just going to let them as they are. I just want you guys to verify that IPS is there, and it is. And look, here's that issue that I've had kids email me like, I can't see the OK. Well, it's because it's down below there. If you drag this up a little bit, it's tough, but maybe it's not down there. Either way, it is. You just can't get to it. It's doing it for me now too. So that's why I'm trying to have you guys skip this step. If you just see that that says IPS, inches, pound, second, just go ahead and click that. So I know we're in good shape. So our first step is we're going to draw that rectangle on the bottom. If you guys look at the original drawing, it's a 3-inch tall rectangle, and it's 4 inches wide by 7 inches long. So I'm going to go to Sketch. I'm going to go to Rectangle. I'm going to click on my top plane. I'm going to roll over my origin, and I'm just going to go ahead and draw this. I'm going to go back to Smart Dimension. This side here is going to be 4. This side here is going to be 7. And I'm going to go to Features, Extrude Emboss Base, and make this blind and 3 inches tall. Just go ahead. You might have to hit the green check a second time. So I don't like to have a little tiny drawing here. I like to click Zoom to fit, and it allows me to see what's going on a little bit better. All right. Now, my next step, there's actually 2 rectangles. They're on either side, and the object is symmetrical, so the dimensions are the same on both sides. So it's 1.5 inches wide and it's 2 inches deep. So we're going to go to Sketch. We're going to do a corner rectangle. The plane that we're going to choose is this top plane. So we just click on it. I'm going to go over here into the top corner, and I'm going to roll down and draw myself a rectangle. And I'm going to do the same thing here on this side. So go ahead and click, roll down, and make sure that you're touching both ends. Otherwise, you end up with something weird. Remember, if you mess something up, if you're like, oh, I didn't like that, you can always go back to Edit, Undo, and it'll take you back a step at a time, just like in Photoshop, right? So so I accidentally clicked there. If I don't want that there, if I just hit the Escape key, that's going to disappear. All right, so Smart Dimension. This is, I can either do this or I can do this down here. So I'm going to choose this one up here. I'm going to make this 1.5. Same with this guy right here. 1.5. I'm just hitting the Enter key. You can hit the green check too as well. And now I'm going to extrude cut it 2 inches deep. So I'm going to go to Features, Extrude Cut, Blind, and 2 inches deep. There it is. So we're on our way. Notice how you have those blue rectangles sort of hovering there. If you just click out here in this negative space, they disappear. That's a Mr. Smith word, negative space. Anyway, the next step, we're going to do our rectangle that goes this way. So if I go to Sketch, I choose my rectangle. I'm going to click this top plane. I'm just going to roll in here. Try not to ever touch. If you look really close, that's a midpoint. You never want to start or end from a midpoint. So just move to the left or right of it. Just go ahead and draw yourself a rectangle. If you end it on the midpoint, or if you're not careful, it's going to be stuck and you're not going to be able to dimension it the way that you want to dimension it. So keep that in mind. There's my rectangle. I'm going to go to Smart Dimension. Up here is going to be 2 inches. From here to here is 1 inch. And the depth on this one, Features, Extruded Cut, we're going to make it blind and 0.5 inches. Let me hit that green check again. Now, next step, Sketch. Right back to the first step, Sketch. Choose the shape. This plane and this plane, it's the same plane, so it doesn't matter which one you click. Make sure you don't start or end on your midpoint, so just find it and move away. Make sure you don't end on your midpoint. It's in here somewhere. There it is. So just move away. And it's the same as the other one, basically the same dimensions, just index 90 degrees. So 2 inches wide. The distance from here to here, and I'm clicking on both of those, by the way, is 1 inch. And the only difference on this one is instead of being a 1/2 inch deep, this one we go to features and extruded cut. This one is blind and 0.75 inches deep. There we go. To get rid of that blue hovering rectangle, just go ahead and click here. There's one final step, and it's our circle. So I'm going to go to Sketch, click the circle on this plane, go ahead and draw it. I'm smart to mention it. When you're doing a circle, you have to click the outer edge of it for the diameter. So the diameter on this is 1 inch. The distance from the center of the circle where I'm clicking to the bottom is also 1 inch. And the distance from the center from, come on. So it's not liking that. So I'm just going to go from here to the center of the circle. Same difference. That's 3.5 inches. And features, extruded cut, through all. Hit the green check. And now you have that perfect shape, all right? So you're basically done, except that you just have to save it and attach it. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Save As. I'm going to browse out to my Google Drive file stream and My Drive and Classroom, and you're going to find the class that you're going to save it in. Now, yours is going to look a little different than mine because you have different Google classes than me. So I'm going to go ahead and open my 8th grade class. Please save this as your first and last name. So your first name, your last name, Drawing2. Go ahead and click Save. Now, when you go back into the assignment, here's the Drawing2 assignment that you're going to see. Don't just mark it as done. You can't do that because I can't see your work if you mark it as done. You have to click Add or Create, as I've shown you guys in the past. So Add or Create. Click Google Drive. And it should show up here. I think that might be it. I'm going to go to my drive just to be sure. Classroom and 8th grade. And there we go. As I roll over it, first name, last name, Drawing2. Just go ahead and click it and hit Add. I'm going to turn it in. And it'll ask you to turn it in again. And there it is. So it is submitted, and at that point, you're going to hear my phone bing here in just a second as I'm talking, that you guys turned something in, and I will go check it, all right? Be careful with this. Don't get upset if you're making a mistake. Don't get upset if you are a little confused. Use the undo button. The undo button, it's not on here now, but it's very easy to go back through and undo something that you didn't want to do. And let's be honest, there are lots of resources out there on YouTube on SolidWorks. So there are tons and tons of SolidWorks tips. I'm trying not to push a bunch of stuff out to you guys because I'm just trying not to overwhelm you with a lot of stuff. Don't be afraid to go out there and look on your own and look at a little bit of stuff on YouTube as well too. You really only have the practice drawing, which was simple, drawing number 1, and now drawing number 2. I've really gone slow and tried to take it easy on everybody here. So do your best on this, and you guys have a good day.